Muscle growth isn't random. It follows a very specific set of rules. And if you know the 3 laws that I'm going to teach you today, it will take out the guesswork from your gym sessions and skyrocket your progress. So if that sounds interesting, let's get into the video. Think of your muscles like a character in a video game. Every workout you hit, every rep you do with a dumbbell or a barbell, you're gaining XP, you're getting experience, and in the case of being in the gym, you're building more muscle. But you can't just keep fighting the same low-level bosses and expect to still keep making progress and leveling up your character or your physique. So you have to fight harder enemies, harder zombies in your game. So in the gym, this is just increasing the weights, increasing the sets, or increasing the reps. You just make it harder for yourself so you can continue to make gains, because like in the video game, you need to fight harder bosses and hit harder workouts. So simply, progressive overload is just not getting stagnant, not stopping your workouts at the same weight. Every single session, you need to be trying to get heavier weight or adding 2 extra reps to each set. Just make it harder for yourself every single time, and this is how you make real growth. Because like in the video game, if you stay at the same level, you can't expect to see any progress and level up your character, or in this case, your physique. The second law is training to failure. So what does this actually mean? So let's say you're hitting a set of dumbbell curls. You're contracting your biceps and you're getting the reps in. But near to the end of the set, you're starting to feel the pain, right? Your muscle starts to burn. Usually you might stop because you need to conserve energy for the next set. But what I want you to do instead is go into that pain. Obviously not bad pain, but if it's like a stretch that you're feeling, keep it going until you literally fail your last rep, that you've pushed your muscle so hard that it's failing. It can't do another rep, and that's how you know that you've reached failure on your set. And this is how you squeeze every last bit of strength out of your bicep and build more muscle. So you can apply this to every other muscle group as well. It's just training the final rep to absolute failure, which is just you can't do another rep. If you tried to, you would fail. That's training to failure, and it is so important to build more muscle and make gains a lot quicker in the gym. And finally, the third law, you need to be training for hypertrophy. So what is hypertrophy? There's 2 different methods of training for hypertrophy and training for strength. If you're training for strength, you might be able to impress more people, like, oh, my max bench is this or that, right? However, training for hypertrophy is, you're still obviously going to increase in strength because that's what happens when you go to the gym, you get stronger. However, you're not focusing on just that 1 rep max, getting that like one time that you get a really heavy weight on the bench. You want to be focusing on building more muscle mass. So you can actually be very strong. There's some very strong people that actually don't look that big because they're training for strength and not hypertrophy. So instead, if you try training for hypertrophy, what you're doing is hitting more reps, so 10 to 12 reps and about 3 sets with about 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max. So if your max bench is 100 kilos, try and rep out 70 to 80 kilos as much as you can. This is how you train for hypertrophy, because what it is doing is forcing your muscle to grow bigger rather than just increasing your strength. And this is how you build that lean physique that you want. Because I assume that most people on this channel are looking to grow an aesthetic physique and not just be strong. Finally, I'm just going to recap the 3 laws. Firstly, you want to be training for progressive overload. The second law is that you want to be training close or to failure on every single set. And the third law is that you need to be focusing on hypertrophy-based training over typical strength training. If you follow these 3 laws, I bet that you will make so much better gains in the gym and you'll put on more muscle in less time. I hope you learned something new from this video, and if you did, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.